Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of WSA Speaker Chat. And we're just getting the video going here. So once I've got everything up and running properly, we'll get started. Okay, that's good. I did not have my video show up. Okay, perfect. So welcome, everyone, once again. My name is Tracy Eamon, and I am part of the WSA executive team. And I'm also host of our monthly Speaker Chat Live, where we get to feature our WSA Premier members and their guest expert and get them to share their expertise. So today we are featuring Sheila Alley, and she's going to talk about how to dress to connect with your audience. Now, it's funny. It's something that I always worry about, how I dress and how I appear, but there's some great information and things that you can do to prepare in advance. And we're going to be sharing some of that today. So welcome, Sheila.
Hello. Very happy to be here.
It's wonderful that you could be. And it was interesting that we were talking about, we're both actually in Canada, but we're like the absolute opposite sides of the country from each other. So in fact, you're 4 hours ahead of me, aren't you? You're
Yes, it's 5 o'clock here.
Yeah, that's incredible. All right, so I want to read your bio because I want everybody to know your background. So just bear with me while I get this up here. All right, so Sheila is a professional image coach for entrepreneurs and business leaders, inspiring them to package themselves and their message in a way that gets people excited to work with them. Known for blending self-worth with image, Sheila delivers simple ways for her clients to feel more joy, improve their appearance, create powerful body language, and fall in love with themselves. Sheila speaks to corporations, women's groups, and businesses on how to increase credibility, influence, and profits. She is a coach, radio show host, and co-author of 101 Great Ways to Improve Your Life and My Style, My Way. Her quotes and articles have appeared in Complete Wellbeing, Quilter Home Magazine, the National Enquirer, and the Chronicle Herald. Thank you so much, and everybody, I hope you'll join me in welcoming Sheila. All right, so I am just taking a look. Ladies, as you're watching this, please go ahead and put your questions or say hi, where you're from in the video, and we will come back and give you a shout out as we see this. And we're gonna get started with the first question, Sheila. So I know that you're an image consultant. How does dressing fit into image?
Well, image has 3 elements, and we call it the ABCs: appearance, behavior, and communication. That makes up the whole part of you. Behavior is how you present yourself, your warmth, your etiquette, and being genuine. Your communication can be verbal or nonverbal, and appearance is what people see when they look at you. It's how you're dressed and your hair, grooming, and makeup. So that's one little element that fits right in the image.
Yeah, and we didn't, I like the ABCs because ABCs definitely make it easier for us to remember, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so appearance is your attire and grooming. So that's where the dressing part of things would fit into things. Your behavior, how you present yourself, and communication, true. And verbal and nonverbal. It's interesting how we watch people's eyes and we watch people's body language, maybe as we say something, and how they're taking it in. And I think that's an important thing to really look at and keep in mind when you're about to get up on stage or when you are on stage.
Because your thoughts come out in your body language, whether you want it to or not.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's important to know that it happens.
I know. Well, even with interviews like this, it's like, I know I'm looking in other places and then I'm like, well, I am listening and I am part of this conversation. But when people are watching, you just kind of got to remember that you need to be in the moment. When you're on stage, you need to be, your full commitment is to what's going on right at that time, right?
Right.
So, that's a great thing for us to remember. And really, it has nothing to do with the dressing part of it, but it's something that's really important to remember. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to move on to the next question. So when did you first discover the importance of how you dressed?
Very early. When I was a little girl, I lived in a small place, even further east in Canada. And I love to dress. So I love to dress up and make clothes and make outfits and things like that. So dressing and how I was very important to me. My mother had a different idea about how I dressed. So when I went to school, she decided that I would wear a uniform.
Okay.
And you might think, well, no big deal. Everybody wore a uniform, or lots of people did. But in my school, nobody wore uniforms. I was the only person wearing a uniform. So I'm in elementary school and I'm wearing a uniform, which means I can't play like the rest of the kids. So that interferes with my fun. And the biggest thing it does is it makes me different because I'm the only person who looks different. And I'm wearing this uniform. It usually was, it was black, like a black jumper dress and a starched white blouse and little black shoes. And I had probably 3 of those. And that, so I always looked the same. And so I realized at the time that, or I felt at the time, I was probably too young to really put it all together in words, that I didn't like it and that standing out in that kind of way wasn't good. So I got the relationship about how I dressed and how I felt. So I also later realized that standing out is fine if you decide to do it yourself and it's your idea. But when it's imposed on you, it's not as good. But the main thing was I realized that it impacted how I felt, which then impacted my body language and how I would present myself, and then also how things would turn out. As a child, if you're kind of feeling like you're want to hide, nobody's really going to want to play with you, and they kind of see you as different. So anyway, that was when I first realized about the importance of how I dressed and how it made me feel.
So basically, it's okay to stand out, but stand out because you want to stand out and because you've chosen to stand out that way. I remember myself being in some outfits that were not my favorite, but and
So
you're
what
right.
made you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you think about it, right? Like even now, like if you pull out something out of your wardrobe that just doesn't quite feel right, like you'll put it on and you'll put it back away again because it does. It will affect you like to your core, and it's going to affect how you present yourself and your confidence level, and really impact what you're saying without even saying anything. So once again, we come back to that, perceived perception of what you're thinking and how people are going to look at what you're doing and maybe read something that's not there just based on what you're wearing.
Yes, but if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel comfortable, you're not going to be able to present yourself authentically because you're too worried about what you're wearing.
Yeah.
And I find that too, even though I choose what I wear very well, sometimes if I've had something for a while and then one day I'll put it on and think, I don't want to wear this anymore. I don't get the same feeling from it.
Yeah.
So, and I realize it now right away. No more, it's gone.
Right.
Get rid of it. Because I want to have that feeling all the time, the feeling that I'm looking for.
Yeah, and that's really important for us to think about because you can have those clothes in your closet for a long time and they're just never going to feel good. So once it hits that point, get them out, get rid of that maybe not bad energy, but get rid of that energy that's not supporting you, and find something else, or grab your favorite, your power outfit, and you go with that.
Mm-hmm. And there actually is energy in it.
Yeah.
If it affects how you feel, it's your energy, it's affecting your energy.
Yes. Yeah, it's so important. And people just, I mean, obviously lots of people out there do realize it, but a lot of people don't either. So,
right.
So I'm just going to give a quick shout out. I see our video is being shared through Laura Rubenstein and Social Buzz Club, and Deb is jumped on. We have 11 people watching right now, which is awesome. If you're coming in afterwards, after the replay, please go ahead and give us a shout out. But we'd love for everybody that's watching right now to go ahead and put your name and information below. And I'm just pulling up my video again, so give me just a second because it's decided to take on a life of its own. I just want to make sure I'm seeing everybody's names here. So while I'm trying to find you, please go ahead and in the little area below, let me know if you are, there we go. I found it. So let me know if you've had that similar experience that Sheila did, maybe wearing a uniform or a particular outfit, even as a child that impacted, like, so you can actually, go back in time and actually feel that feeling now. And then, because that's something that you want to be able to control moving forward. So let me see here. All right, we have Heidi, is it Heidi? Sorry, is here. We have, let me see, Lara, Dustin. Wonderful. So I'm so happy everybody's here and joining us, and definitely keep putting comments in to below the video. We will be checking back afterwards as well. So if there's any questions that come up, or, as Sheila's sharing her information with us, if there's any questions that you have for her, I can definitely, we'll go back and we'll read through this. If we can get it onto the speaker chat itself live, then we definitely will. And if not, then, Sheila and I will come back in and keep an eye on things. Awesome. So Leslie says she's here right now. She has to leave soon, but she's definitely going to watch the replay. So that's great. And Lee, thank you so much, Lee, for joining us. Wonderful. All right, so let's move on to the next question, Sheila. From a speaker's point of view, and of course, we're talking to women speakers, why is how you dress or your appearance important?
Because your appearance or how you're dressed is what people see first, the first thing they see when they look at you. And within a couple of seconds, I think it's about 10 seconds, people create an impression of who you are just based on what they see. 7% of their impression is formed, only 7% is formed by what you say. 38% is formed by your voice and your inflection, not the words. And then 55% is what they actually see. So when you're in business, you are your business. So it's important that that first impression be the one that you want it to be, and that you have control over it. So it's really important to have your image and how you look in alignment with the message that your business has.
Yes, I agree with that. I love the stats too, and we'll be sharing some of these stats out again in the blog post when we put it up. But yeah, first impressions are so important, and people do business with people that they can relate to. And so that's part of it too, right? When you're dressing for success, you're dressing to attract and build that relationship with people. So wonderful. And thanks, a quick shout out to Deb. She's manning our comments area right now, which is awesome. So thank you very much for being able to step in there, Deb. All right. So yeah, it really is important. And I mean, that's a great quote. It's important how you look is in alignment with your message, because if you show up in sweatpants or yoga gear and you're not talking about yoga and stretches, you're talking about how I'm going to help you take your financial part of your business and expand it, then there's no synergy there, and people will get so caught up in what you're wearing that they will no longer hear what you have to say.
Well, it ruins your credibility.
Definitely.
If it's not in alignment, your credibility is ruined.
Yeah,
and people don't sometimes even think about it, consciously. It's something that everybody does. It's just done automatically.
So when you and I talked before, right? Think about authenticity, and so it's an important part of that as well, because if that alignment isn't there, then you're not coming across as authentic. I mean, you may be, but it's that that's perception that's really important.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about perception.
Yes.
Mm.
And this is great. I'm just watching some of the things coming up, and I'm so sorry. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. It's either Haiti or Heidi, but she says if you want people to believe in your message, they have to believe in the messenger, and that is so true. Love that. Thank you. All right. So, do you have any strategies or tips on how we can dress to make that positive impact that we want to have?
Yes, I do.
I thought you might.
Yeah. So the first thing to think about is, like anything, how do you want to look? So you start with your end in mind. Think about the kind of impression you want to make. How do you want people to see you? And most of all, how do you want to feel? So when I work with my clients, we start with that. How do you want to feel? First, right from starting with your closet. When you get dressed in the morning, how do you want to feel? And so they just choose a few words, like they want to feel vibrant, confident, sexy. Could be, it depends on where you're going to go, but you choose the words. Now, if you're going to go on stage, one of the words probably would be confident. You want to feel confident there. So you think about being on stage and actually imagine yourself being on there, and think of how is it you want what. So this is how you want to feel. You choose the words. What do you have to wear to feel that way? So some of the things that I would suggest is that you consider the color that you wear. You would consider the shape of the garments so that your body shape fits the clothes you're choosing, and that is suitable, so that is suitable for the occasion, depending on where you might be. So if you're at a networking event, you might be dressed differently in different types of situations. Can't really think of any specifically, but the occasion is important. So back to body shape in your clothes. Women, I have different body shapes, and clothes are all different shapes. And what I've noticed is that women blame their bodies. When clothes don't fit right, they blame their bodies. And I'm here to tell you, it's not your body. It's clothes. So it's like a cookie cutter and a puzzle. If you can fit the two together, that makes you look your best, then your clothes fits better and you feel better. And it's best to choose clothes that hangs well on your body, and usually it has to be of a very good quality. When it's high quality, it will hang better and feel better and fit you better. Another stat is that 95% of women need to have their clothes altered to fit perfectly. Clothes off the rack don't usually fit well. So especially if the clothes are cheap. And don't get misled into thinking because something costs a lot that it's expensive clothing either. Sometimes there's a high price on cheap clothing. So it's important to know how your body suits the clothes and the colors, that you're wearing the best color for yourself, and that you're dressed for the occasion. So everything is appropriate occasion wise.
I love all that. It's I don't know, there's always things that but until someone actually lays it out, and it's almost like, okay, well, that it's obvious when you say it, but it's not obvious before that. So I want to read a couple of the comments here. Just a second, I'm on the wrong thing. I'll read a couple of the comments here that have come in. Leslie said, someone said the most important accessory is a full-length mirror. So that
Yes.
definitely, right? Tell you whether things are fitting properly.
Yes.
And Heidi agrees with Leslie and says, good, and a good alterations person, like you had mentioned. Yeah, and it's the clothes off the rack don't always fit well. People are sharing that out. And Sylvia, thank you so much for this interview. I'm interested in this topic. I need to go because I'm in a meeting. I'll watch the replay later. So thank you so much for stopping in, and we're happy that you're able to come back later. So I think what I'd like to do is just, as we're going into the next question, I would love to kind of go back to that first question that you said. How do you want to feel? So kind of think about it. If you're think about your next presentation that you're going into. How do you want to feel? Now, yes, you want to feel confident, add confident, but maybe there's something else that you want to feel. Maybe just share that with us and we'll go on to the next question. So you were talking about colors. And so why is color important?
If anyone who follows me know how much I love color. And because color is, if I had a choice of, and I say if I couldn't wear only certain, because I always wear makeup too, but if I could only wear, say, lipstick or mascara or something, one of the things I would always want to wear is color, because color makes such a big impact. And the reason is, as the color that's up near your face reflects, and the right color, and everyone has the certain colors that look best on them. The right color makes your skin look glow, makes your eyes sparkle, and makes your hair shine. And the wrong colors will make your hair look dull, will make lines show up, and make dark circles look darker. So that's why color is so important, that you choose your right color. So I'll give you a tip about color. Right from the basics, there are two categories of color. There's warm and cool. This is where we start. To find out if you're warm or cool, you take a piece of yellow jewelry, gold jewelry, and a piece of silver jewelry, and put it up next to your skin. Like you could put it next to your face. And whichever one blends best with your skin tone is a color family you're best suited to. So if it's gold, that means you're in the warm color family. If it's silver, you're in the cool color family. And I remember years ago, I saw this lady. We were kind of outdoors at this concert, and she was wearing gold earrings. This is long before I knew about color. And I thought, oh, the earrings look so nice on her. So I thought, I must get a pair of those gold earrings. And I got them. They looked terrible. Just wasn't the same. And I couldn't really figure out what it was. But my skin is cool. So I have blue undertones. And yellow, the gold doesn't suit me. But when I wear silver, it works. So it's just that one little thing there. So once you know whether you're cool or warm, you can choose colors that are cool, which are blue based, and yellow, warm, which are yellow based or orange based. And the good news is most people can wear any colors. It's just that you need to have, for example, red can be warm or it can be cool, depending on how much of it has blue undertones or yellow undertones. So when you choose the right red, and there is a right red for everybody, well, I go back. There are colors. You can wear every color. See, even yellow. I actually wrote a blog about everybody can wear yellow. Anyone can wear yellow. So, yeah, color is just so, color lights me up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's a great tip about just taking your earrings and go. And I'll have to try that out afterwards, because I really don't know. I always used to go gold because that's just what we did, but I've been going more silver, so we'll have to see what way I'm going. But how about black and white? Like I notice I always go towards black and white, and you're wearing that nice herringbone, nice black and white as well.
Herringbone,
right? So, what's your thoughts on black or white? Are they considered colors as well? And something that everybody should have in their wardrobe? Or does that depend again whether they're cool or they're warm?
I love that question. They're neutral. Black and white are neutral. They're not really colors. And I wear a lot of black and white because black and white, it's a repeat of my pattern. My hair is black, my skin is very white. So it repeats the pattern. So it's not good for everybody. And everybody probably, you could have white it's good to have a white in your wardrobe, but it has to be your type of white. So for example, if you're warm, you don't wear a clear white, you wear more of a warm white. So it has a bit of a yellowish, a warmer tone. if I
like
had
vanilla or something.
difference. And everyone, of course, can wear black, but not next to their face. The black is a whole different story that I could tell you a lot about. It is a neutral, and it is something that women wear a lot of, but it is one of those things that you probably shouldn't wear close to your face when you're starting to get older, because it shows more lines and wrinkles. So if you want to wear black, because black is slimming and all those other things, it also is not good next to your face. You could wear a scarf or jewelry to take away from the black. And then there are people who look really good in black. So yeah. Did I answer all those questions?
You did. That was awesome. Yeah, I find it's one of those things. Yeah, the neutrals people, well, a lot of people do like them. I'm not the only one, because you can tell when you go to the stores, there's always the black and whites there, right? But that's interesting about, not we want to wear black because it looks slimming, but then it doesn't necessarily, give us the youthful look that we're also going for, right?
No, that's right. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just looking at some more of the comments. Some of them have dipped off here. Heidi says, for me, the new black is gray. Charcoal gray looks great in a suit. And then Lee says, more ivory colored white for warm colored persons.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. That's the word.
Yeah.
The ivory.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll notice that when people
great having those women there to help me.
Right? I know. And I know that there was some more, but they've dipped off, and I'll come back and touch them. I'm trying to grab them as they kind of scroll through. So do you have any more strategies on how to dress to make a positive impact for us?
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, and we kind of talked about that before. You and I don't think we were on air then, about being authentic. The best thing you can be is to stand out, is to be authentic. And being dressed in a way that suits you and suits your personality will help you be authentic. When you follow fashion trends and follow what other people are wearing, follow celebrities, just follow people, you're not being yourself. So I've noticed that a lot of women, most women, don't pay much attention, don't think about it, I guess, because it's not something that we're taught to think about. What styles are best for me? What do I really gravitate towards? What looks best on me? What do I feel most comfortable wearing? Because ultimately, you want to feel comfortable and comfort in how you move, so nothing constricts you. And you also want to feel comfortable that what you wear is really in alignment with your personality and the kind of person you are. And so that means if you're following fashion trends, you're not going to be like that. And mostly younger women do that anyway, and it also can be very costly, and it can be also hard to keep up with and mix and match. And to back up a bit though, I still think fashion is nice to have in your wardrobe because it keeps it alive, it keeps it interesting, and but just not when it's all caught up in fashion, when everything's like the latest trend, because it dies and it causes you more work. You got to go do it all again. And who wants to do that?
A lot of people don't. I mean, some people absolutely love shopping and other people absolutely hate it. So yeah, having a nice, a couple of nice fashion pieces that are in line with, what's trending at the moment. If they fit you properly, look good with, with your body type and make you feel awesome, then fabulous.
Yeah.
But you want to have those staples that make you feel good no matter what, right? And there's always those in your wardrobe if you're choosing correctly.
Yeah, so you need to have the staples that help you build your wardrobe and keep everything good. And what I find is, if you want to add some fashion in, to choose accessories, fashionable accessories. They're easier to build into your wardrobe to keep your fashion part going.
Yeah, so it's like, a splash of color with your with some of the scarves and so forth, right? And there's so many ways that you can use a scarf, although I can't do anything with any of them. I've watched some people show me how I should be using a scarf, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. So, maybe that'll be another speaker chat that you and I can do.
Yeah, scarves.
So do you have any style tips for the stage?
Yes, I do. One of the biggest ones, I think, is to look at the background color. Know what the background color is going to be before you go on stage. For example, a lot of background colors are black. So if you wear black, you will fade into the stage. And if you're like me and your hair is black, you're really going to fade into the stage. So wear a color that doesn't clash with the background. Sometimes if you want to find it, could be usually is a plain background, but you don't want to clash with the background. And you don't want to wear any noisy jewelry, anything that makes a noise, like too many bracelets or something that's going to be around your neck that's going to interfere with your speaking. And also you want to not wear any outfit that is too busy or too many accessories, too much going on, that it distracts people to look at you and what you're wearing rather than your message. So it's better to wear something that is has as few colors as you can, a few lines, and in one of your best colors, and is not distracting. So the least amount of distractions you can have, the better it is. Another thing is to make sure that your clothes fit well. You don't want to wear pants or skirt that's too tight, and or clothes that are too baggy. And I can go back to again about the construction of the clothes. When you buy good quality clothes that's constructed well, it hangs better and it feels better. And an example of that would be something that's made of a jersey material, a lycra. A good one is heavy and it falls over your body. One that's not good quality will stick. So you don't want anything that's going to stick to your body. You want it to just flow over and create the kind of line that you want. And the same is true for your footwear. Footwear should blend in with your outfit so it doesn't stand out, and it has to be comfortable. It would be a great time to wear a pair of shoes that you haven't worn before, and especially high heels. If you're not used to standing in high heels, you want to wear something that's comfortable at the right height and that feels good and matches your outfit. I think I covered just good many things there.
Yeah, lots of tips there. And I love the don't wear black. so, I wonder what I'm going to wear. But you're right. You blend right in. That's you don't want to blend in. We talked about at the very beginning, you want to stand out, but you want to stand out because you are controlling the situation, and you may stand out because all they can see is your face on the stage, right? So I guess that means that we can contact the event coordinator and ask them if they know. I mean, not all the time will they know. I know that I've seen stages where they've had the jewel red or burgundy type of curtains in behind as well. Mm-hmm. So, you definitely would want to know, because once again, you could choose that perfect red, but you might clash, right?
Right.
So that's something we have to add to our list of things we want to ask when we're booking our next speaking gigs. Hazel Kings just came on and said thanks for the tips. So that's great. So we are just about done today. We've had so much great information. I know I'm going to go and try and figure out whether I'm cool or warm and what colors I should be wearing other than black. I might still wear black on the bottom, but okay. So here's a question as I'm talking away. Do you think that a suit is better, or a dress, like a fairly simple type dress? Like, I guess it just depends on knowing who your audience is too before you go, right?
Right. Depends on your audience. And it also depends on you and what you feel most comfortable in, if it suits who you are. If you would never wear a suit otherwise, it wouldn't be a good time to wear it. So, and or a dress too. If you're not used to wearing dresses, you don't want to wear something that's going to make you uncomfortable. So and how that outfit, whatever you choose, is going to make you appear to your audience. So it definitely has to be something that feels good for you.
Yes.
And that's the main thing.
Okay.
But not yoga pants.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Unless you're going to do, you're a yoga instructor, well, that'd be different.
Well, if you're a yoga instructor, totally.
Yeah, it's different.
It's funny, Vancouver area where I'm from, at one point, I think there was some newspaper articles about, everybody's wearing yoga pants. It's like the new business outfit. And it's like, around home, yes, but not elsewhere. Okay. So Heidi says she likes to select her level of dress matching the audience dress code. So making that association, which is great, Heidi, because once again, it goes back to what we were talking about before, right? We want to build a relationship with our audience, and by dressing similar to how they're dressing, it's another little link that makes us, builds that connection.
Right, right.
Right. And she says, but she'd never select jeans because they're too casual for her topic. And that's good. Like knowing what your topic is, knowing what you want to convey, keeping in mind that, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. It's the way that you react to things. It's what you're wearing and whether that fits in with what your message is. I mean, there's so many things to think about, but, being able to just know that we need to look for those, I think, is a great way to kind of set. It's almost like you add that to your checklist, before you get ready to go and present, have a checklist and go,
right.
What am I going to wear? How do I feel? Make some little notes, because I think that also, going back to that confidence, if you've kind of gone through your checklist and you'll walk on stage with that confidence. You won't be worried about what you're wearing. And I think probably all of us have been in that situation where you did wear something, you're like, oh, this is not quite fitting the way I want. And you actually do, even though you're trying not to, concentrate on it. It's very much a part of your mind at that point, as opposed to what you are trying to, teach, share with others.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't think there's much importance in it, or people who don't think it, they sometimes wait to the last minute to find something. And the last minute is not a good time to think about what you're going to wear.
No, definitely not.
Right.
So always pack a few different things too, because there's always going to be that day that when you planned it, it seemed like a good thing. And when you put it on that day, it's just not the right thing. So, just be prepared, right? Like Girl Guides, be prepared. All right, so last questions. How can viewers connect with you? And I think you have some free offer for us. And I also want to know, you're talking about everyone can wear yellow. So you're talking about your blog post. So if you could share that information with us, and then after we go offline, we'll make sure we get those links up onto the comments below.
Okay. My website is SheilaAlley.com. And my free offer is a 2 months free in my membership, a private group called Style by Sheila, which is how to dress for the season. So each season I have a different wardrobe capsule, and in this membership is kind of about how to dress for using wardrobe capsules to dress to make dressing easier. So the offer is a 2 month free 2 months in this club, and also a 15-minute style session. If you've watched here today and you're thinking, well, I'd like to know more about this, or this is my question, and you want to get it answered, you can send me an email, sheila@sheilaalley.com, and put Style by Sheila or your question in the subject line, and I will get back to you. I'm not sure if I said all that in the right way, but
no, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah.
And we'll get your links up at SheilaAlley.com.
Yeah.
And they can reach out to you at Sheila@SheilaAlley.com. Make sure you have the EY in Alley. And we just have, Laura just said she loved the seasonal style topic. So wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you have anything else that you want to share?
Well, yes, I thought there was one more thing about black and the stage that I noticed from watching others on stage that because sometimes the lights are above, can be above your head or wherever there's pointed, it can show it, especially if you wear something tight, it shows every curve you have, everything. So if you want to show it all, you know, it's
Yeah.
very, it's almost like being sheer, I think. And I've seen people on stage with that. So, and it depends on the lighting, but
Right.
who knows what the lighting is going to be before you get there.
You don't know. So you want to be as aware and prepared as possible
Yeah.
before stepping
So
on
it's something to
stage.
keep in mind
Mm-hmm.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we want you to know that just get out there and kill it because we know you can. And, once you get on stage, don't stress about what you're wearing. Don't stress about any of that. You've done the preparation before. Once you're on stage, just, you
Do
know, just do it. Actually, I do see another question that just came up. So let's address that. Laura asked, are patterns a good idea for women?
patterns of what for generally or okay.
I'm assuming for on the stage. Laura, are you able to put another clarification up there? And we'll just hold and wait for your reply.
Well, I would say for then we have to think about your background. Patterns, I probably would stay away from patterns. I would go more for plain colors for a stage because just because you don't know what the background might be. Also, patterns have lines and they take the eye in different angles, so it can make you look bigger or smaller in certain places. So you could possibly wear it, but you have to be very careful with it.
So sort of maybe a small piece of a pattern underneath a solid or something would work.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to wear a pattern under a jacket or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, be careful with patterns.
Because you really don't want to take people's eyes away from your face too much because that's where the connection between you and them is really going to take place. And Laura did say, yeah, it's for clothes on stage. And I think you came in a little bit later, Laura. She also asked about white. So we talked about neutral colors. We talked about black not being a good idea. And do you have any thoughts on white on stage?
Then again, it's depending on the white would be fine. Yes.
Yeah, because
If
most
your
of the time the
background,
curtains aren't white.
yeah. No, backgrounds are never usually white.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. And
White
we were talking before, Laura, about, white or black when you are wearing it, get those bursts of colors maybe in, the accessories and so forth too. So with white, you might want to have an accessory that's still going to draw people to sort of your face area where they're going to connect with you because ultimately you're speaking because you want to share your message and potentially bring more business your way depending on why it is you're speaking. So just keep that in mind as well. And she says, thank you. You're very welcome. All right, everyone. So thank you again, Sheila, for joining me. I always love doing speaker chat because there's so much I don't know. And so it's awesome to learn and I'm seeing more comments here, so we'll end up coming back afterwards. But once again, thank you so much, Sheila.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody, you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you haven't already joined us on Women Speakers Association, go ahead and go to joinwsa.com and become a member. We'd love to welcome you. Okay? Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next month. All right. Bye-bye.